We are a bit of a smaller group today, but no worries. We'll still figure
Maybe,
out
maybe they're
things to
at
talk
maybe
about.
they're at, maybe they're at the May 1 rallies.
Oh, I didn't know that they were happening today.
Well, I know one I'm going to is on Saturday.
Okay. Well, that's a good excuse, being at a rally. Either way, no, we know that attendance is not mandatory, but we'll make it a lively session between just us. We could start off with anybody's questions if they've come with them. Raise your digital hand or your real hand. Go for it, Allie.
Hi.
Hey.
I am not the main one working on the website, so
Okay.
I'm not the one in the things, but I am helping to, or I will be helping to put items in the league resources like past newsletter articles and things like that. So I uploaded something today, and then I realized it was the wrong version of something, and I don't see a way to delete an item from the league resources.
Oh, good question. Yeah, let me just masquerade as a demo account so we can just um go through those steps. So I'm on the MyLO homepage and I can get to it from here. Um, Same thing as if you were on your homepage. Manage files is just through the administrator league menu. And so when
Oh,
I go to manage files, it defaults to my files. So since you uploaded it, it would be considered one of your files. That's this is the place where you get the option to delete. Um, if you were looking at all files, um, then you no longer get the option to delete there. But again, since you said that you personally uploaded it, then all you have to go through is delete and then confirm. And you can, I think, do it to multiple at a time. So I don't want
okay.
to.
And that's the same files that like, because I uploaded it on Chapter Spot. So those are the same files, right?
No, MyLO and ChapterSpot are not connected whatsoever.
Oh, shoot. Okay. So is this not even the place to ask that?
If you're working with ChapterSpot, yeah, this is for MyLO.
Oh, okay. And I don't really know the difference. I think yeah, I think this is probably Chapter Spot then. It's the
Yeah,
portal.lwb.org. That's,
yeah, that is ChapterSpot. So ChapterSpot is the membership directory, I guess, or membership database, but it
Mhm.
also offers leagues a free website. So if your league is working with that free template website, then your league may not have MyLO anymore. What league are you with?
Um, Clackamas County in Oregon.
Okay, I think you guys are still working on MyLO. I'm not sure if you have plans to migrate to Chapter Spot, but at least from what I
Yeah.
know,
We
you're
kind of
still
use both. I think I was trying out the new one and I am still learning the terms. I was thrown into a leadership role very early on in doing this, so I
gotcha.
am still learning all the terms.
No worries.
But
So
but
I think I
can
what
I just say isn't there a spot on Chapter Spot to post stuff? Is that what you're going to say, Deborah? Is that what
yes,
you're talking about, Allie?
yeah.
Yes, I think so. So that's where I was going to test that out. But yeah, you can
Yeah,
upload it, but there's no place to delete it.
I just wanted to let you know that I had a problem with that and I had to um, email them. There's a place you can go to email them. Apparently, there's no way for at this moment for us to delete it from our end. So you have
Oh,
to ask them to delete it.
That is so odd. Okay.
I know. Or even edit, like I had a typo in the name of a document. There's no way to even edit that. So, yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well, I'm wish I had uploaded it to Milo, so that would have been easier. Well,
So
thank you all.
okay, so continuing with that question then, so when she said resources, so where would that appear? Like we don't have a resource page on MyLO, do we?
No. So
No.
Oh,
this is a
okay.
chapter spot question. It's not
Right.
related to MyLO.
Yeah.
Well, but when you were
Um,
saying, oh, well, you would just go in and manage your files
I
and do
was
that,
thinking that the question was about MyLO, so I was going to manage files to show how to delete a file from there.
just the file itself. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
but as many of us do in our members only area, you can create pages.
mhm.
And, I've got a page for, video recordings of, well, it includes video recordings of our meetings, stuff like that. Stuff that's for members only. So,
Mm,
yeah.
okay. Things to think about. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sorry that I had a question that wasn't related to this, but thank you for everyone for chiming in.
No,
I so
Well, we
appreciate it.
learned
it is
something.
all right. Yeah. And if there's ever a chance where Chapter Spot allows you to insert links, not just your main homepage of your website, then Mary Jo's suggestion I think would be really helpful because then, you could put all your essentially resources on the MyLO site and then link to that. But I don't know if that's an option on Chapter Spot.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't you, I hate to beat chapter spot into the ground, but because I know this is not what Amaris is wanting to talk about. But may I just suggest
Go for
that
it. Yeah.
you also look on chapter spot, there's leak information, and you can upload documents there. But I don't know who gets to see it.
Well, that's probably what she did. Isn't it, Allie?
Yeah, it was under the league resources section of that. And so it's supposed to like you could upload things and then I was going to put a link to something in our newsletter from that and it let me do that, but then it was the wrong file and then now I can't delete it. So I think they're still working out the kinks, but I'm not sure now exactly. I think I'm just going to
Well,
log into MyLO and
if
upload
you
it
if
there.
if you go into chapter spot on the web, um, there there's a there's an actual online form that you can fill out when you have a problem, and they will
Mm,
email you directly
Oh,
with
yes.
a
okay.
You
resolution.
can also use membership at lwv.org.
Okay. I will do that. I'll have to email them about that. Thank you very much.
Let me see if I can find that support page that Tess was
Yeah,
referring
it's
to.
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
You'll have to look for chapter spot. Sorry.
Just Chapter Spot's better of a term to
Yeah,
search.
chapter spot, yeah.
This,
Resources, chapter spot resources. If you go up a little bit,
but
it
wasn't there
should
like
be.
a support page or something? Is it on here, the Chapter Spot
Yeah,
resources?
I think it's there, yeah. And
Mm,
then
That was sort of at the beginning.
if you um
There's a support. I
update,
saw a link for a support form. So,
There we go.
yeah, if you
Yes.
go,
yeah.
yeah, support form, that's what you need to use.
And that's
Um,
better because they'll track it better.
Yeah.
Mm, all right. Thank you. I'll do that right now.
So, all right, Deborah, go ahead with your question.
All right. So just a real quick thing, Jennifer, I saw where you were our contact for Chapter Spot. Is that correct?
Yes, that is
Yeah.
correct.
Okay. Right. I don't have a question now, but I just saw your name there when I was looking that up the other day. Okay, so my question is, we were thinking of changing the platform that we put our newsletter, our the voter newsletter on. And we were wondering if we could do that using like something like Constant Contact or MailChimp, some one of those programs. But if we do that, then are you able to put that on MyLO? I mean, like right now, we transfer it as a PDF, and then we can put that whole thing on our voter. But if we're
Mhm.
using another format, can we still do that?
Yeah.
And
No,
I would read it.
I think Mary Jo can speak to that because
Okay.
Yep.
we know
So
she works with content.
we use Constant Contact, and
Okay.
there is, I think you have to pay maybe $5 extra a month, but there's an option you can have with your account to archive newsletters. Um, and so when you do your campaign, that's what they call it. There's an option to archive it.
Okay.
And oh, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
thank you. And now in our case, we actually do two newsletters. We do right now one for just the members and one for the public. We call it the news. So that's the one that the news is the one that gets archived and it's available to the public.
To everyone. Okay.
Yeah. So what we've been doing is on our members only page, we put our voter. So you see how that says news. So anybody can look at that. But
Okay.
Constant Contact has that option to archive your material.
So
And
then
then,
you are
Yeah.
so then you are or you click archive it, then it gives you that link, and then you just
well,
post the link.
I think it just automatically, I can't remember, it goes
I
over
can
now.
give a little explanation of the back end.
Okay.
It's an embed code that
Oh,
you get from
You're frozen,
Constant
Amaris.
Contact. Am
You
I
mean when
frozen?
you're first signing up for it?
I'm not sure, but I know you provided an embed code. Let's pop into the back end of this to show it off. So, all you have to do after you've embedded this code, once you archive, then it automatically appears on this list.
Right.
So Mary Jo doesn't have to do anything extra of,
Well,
taking a
actually,
link.
yeah, actually, that's not true. Actually, it does show up in that list, but then I think, maybe I'm wrong. I think I do have to put in the URL under the current newsletter, but it's real easy when you go when you look at your campaign, it gives you the short URL. So
Are
it's
you
not,
talking about you do that in Constant Contact?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. If you do have to kind of drag and drop or something, like make the add add the new entry to the list. But as far as on MyLO, you don't have to make changes because this embed code is pulling from Constant Contact whatever changes you
Right.
make
Oh, I
there.
understand that, but
Okay.
that's how it shows up on the list. But what I'm saying is if you go back to the page, there's a purple box that says current newsletter, and I don't remember. Oh, click it and see. They will know. Oh, it doesn't. No, that doesn't matter because no, I changed it. So, but I don't remember if that. I don't think that happens automatically. I think I have to go into the campaign on Constant Contact, and there's a short URL that I just copy and paste and put in there. So it's
Okay.
no big deal.
But the previous
Um,
editions are
Technically, it
automatic.
includes that current one. Yeah. The previous editions are automatic and it does include even the most recent. But I
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because I would hopefully, I mean, I
you
assume
catch
that
more
they
people
have been
probably with this
updated.
button.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, totally makes sense. Yeah, Tess.
so what's constant contact? I never heard of that before.
Yeah, does somebody want to
Do you know what chimp? What is it? What's chimp? What's that?
MailChimp?
Oh,
Is that
MailChimp?
other?
It's kind of like MailChimp, but it's more sophisticated. And
Oh,
a lot of nonprofits use it.
It's called a marketing platform, but we see a lot of our leagues using it for their newsletter sharing.
okay. So I find it very awkward to go into the membership section to try to post the newsletter. It's like I have to create a separate page for it.
Mhm.
Um, so um, this page here that we're looking at, is that under the members only?
No.
This is one of their public
No.
pages.
Oh, that's their public page.
You want to show tests the members only?
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
don't,
let me.
can she? I don't know.
I am
Yeah.
logged in as an admin, so it'll
Okay.
pop up. Is it okay, voter?
Yeah, there you are.
So
Okay,
similar idea as far as the page layouts.
but you have to create a separate page, like you can't have a section for newsletter or I mean, there's a
This is the
separate section for
section.
calendar.
So on members only, yeah, the separate sections here, we have upcoming events, members only content. Those are the two sections. So if you made a new
Okay, that's it.
page that was
Yeah,
dedicated to the newsletter, it would be under members only content. The other
I
thing
see.
too that you have control over is your league's headers. So everything
Mm-hmm.
under members only page and above upcoming members only events, you can add here. The only warning we give to folks is don't put any sensitive information here, because if you have a MyLO user account, regardless of if you have access to this league, you would see the header at the very least. You wouldn't see the rest of the content, but um,
Oh,
that's just
okay.
the warning there. But um, yeah, you could have a button to go to that private newsletter page in your header, and then only those who have access would actually get through to that page.
Okay, so I can, you're saying I can create another header. I can create an additional header
Um, I'm
for
not
like the newsletter.
I'm not sure if I would say header, because if you put a heading, I don't know if it won't come up displaying the same as the ones below. I'm gonna sh try it out on a demo site here. Oops, this is an old site that doesn't have the headers yet. Let's try a newer one. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna test out. Okay, so let's add a heading
Mm-hmm.
to see what that looks like. Yeah, so it is still a bit smaller than these other headings, um, but you do have the ability to use different heading styles. Whatever formatting is available in WYSIWYG, you can use it here in the
Okay,
header.
so I don't have to, and how do I get something under the new heading? Like if I wanted to do just newsletters on that section, can I do that? Or
You would for this
yeah,
section here, you would always
yeah.
have to edit your league's headers. That's where you would have to go to make those changes. But
But
if
if you wanted it underneath, you could edit, you could add when you're on that page, you could edit the page
Mhm.
and add it there.
Okay, can you sh show me? In other words, okay. I'm trying to find a way to put the newsletter in the member section without having to create another page to put on there. I
Well,
mean, is there an
we just
easier
have
way to
one
do it?
page.
You
We
will
we
technically
only have
need.
one page.
Yeah, but you will need to create that one page because you do have the ability to just upload voters without having a dedicated page. But if you want to allow folks to look back at old versions, then that would be an upside to having a separate page for them. If you just
Oh,
wanted them to look at the current version and that's it, then you could use the header for that, but you would have to replace that link every month.
oh, okay, okay. So what I'm doing is the way that it needs to be done is create every newsletter, I create another page
You don't need to
and
create
it
a new page every time. You could just have one dedicated page for voter newsletter and then add the link, the newest link to that
Show her ours.
list.
Show her
Yeah.
what
but
we.
can you have older links on there?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I can go to the page that I already have on there and just add more links to it.
Yep. Yep. Let me see if I
Okay.
have.
Because I've been
Let's
creating a
look at
new page
hers.
for each newsletter.
Yeah, no, you don't need to do that. Definitely
Okay,
extra
okay,
work
okay.
there. Um,
Yeah.
so similar to like the Dearborn Heights
Mm-hmm.
newsletter page, they just have a
Mm-hmm.
running list of these
Okay.
previous editions. So that's something similar that
Okay.
you can do. Um,
Okay, good. Okay. So I could just put it in the body. I could
mhm.
just list them in the body. Okay.
Yeah, and whether you
Okay.
wanted it to be, with bullet points or not, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to go through and show an example. I'm going to just throw in any old documents I have here. So I just submit.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
with
All right.
these links, you can rename them really easily. I just put my
Mm-hmm.
cursor in the middle and I'm just renaming
Okay.
it to what I want. And then the rest, backspace, delete, anything to just get rid of them.
Oh,
So now we have
so
that
I can.
first one.
Oh, okay, great.
Can I ask a
Okay.
question?
Sure.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
Carla.
Hi.
Hi.
I am very new to this, okay? So please forgive my ignorance, but I want to at least ask about a question that just, so you were saying when we began this section that there was a danger of doing something, and that caught my attention. So when I hear things like that, I like to go back, make sure I understand.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so again, I'm not just a baby in the woods here. Um, so are these member only pages, or is that a standard that goes across all the different websites in the United States? Or is that just something germane to the national office or to your office or the California office?
Yeah, I don't know if other leagues do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but it's part of the MyLO website template. So you have the option as a MyLO customer to continue using it or not.
Okay, so you made a comment
But
about something about danger, something, what is there? That's what I want to note in my notes. I just don't remember what you said. I didn't, so what did I miss?
Yeah, so as far as the header section, this here, the edit your league's headers, like I said, it displays under the title and above the next section title. And since it says members only page, most of us would assume that only members can see this entire page. But there are different levels of membership in MyLO, um, where the, let me see if I can pull up the other documentation here.
This is what those people would see if that you're talking about, what you just showed.
Yeah, so
I
for
had it.
example, if I went into Tessa's page and she had something between where Amaris was highlighting, I'd be able to see it. So if she put if she put if she put in her newsletter, I'd know what their newsletter was. And I'm not a member, but I'm a member of MyLO. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes.
But
So
I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't, because she probably won't even be doing it.
yeah, it's really only if you are, we've seen a league put like a link to um, the membership roster. And it's like that you probably want to bury a little bit further up in the
Okay.
header is
Yeah.
not recommended.
I don't
Um,
think we have anything that the public can't see, as I understand
okay.
it.
Well, that's
That,
good. Then you probably don't have to
cool.
worry about it.
Right.
Really the main difference in that section is um, so if they become a MyLO user, that just means they're kind of floating in the MyLO universe. They've not been picked up by a specific league yet. But those users would be able to log in, actually click to a league's members only page, but only see the header. Every other piece of content, even if there are private events, even if there is other private pages, me, if I was that user, I would not be able to see the rest of that, but I would be able to see the header.
Yeah, and we talked about that just yesterday. In fact, that I do not believe where everything is public for us. So that's a nice thing to not to worry. We don't put anything on there that people have to worry about. So
Good.
I want to say to you, Amaris, it's very impressive the way you move around this website. I mean, I'm still feel a little lost. So I am very impressed by all of you ladies in terms of your familiarity with it, and I'll get there one day. But
Oh,
it's
you will. Yeah, stick around. These folks in these sessions really do provide some good advice. Even just talking about what they have on their website, it really does help. I know that other folks have said that before. When we, peruse other folks' websites when they're asking their questions, sometimes that's where you pick things up. You're like, "Ooh, I like that." So,
sure the personalization.
yeah.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
And the comic relief.
that too. Yes, sometimes you need that stress reliever as a webmaster. All right, go for it, Deborah.
Okay, so Carla has already addressed this, but I did just want to say to her, we don't use a members only page. And when we do post something like an event that is a members only, we post that for the public to see, but then we put in the heading a members only event. And so if you want to come to that event, then you need to join and be that. But just to let you know that we don't, not all leagues would use that. So just to FYI.
Thanks, Deborah. All right. Any other questions? I'm also going to pull up the Google group to see if we had any recent questions that hadn't been addressed.
One more question. Should I
Yeah.
be getting, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Should I, do I get an email about each of the meetings? Is that something I should?
Yeah. So we have the MyLO support Google group here. That's where I post the reminders of these meetings. Let me drop the link in the chat and then you should be able to just request to join and then I can add you once we're out of here.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good place to be subscribed to since it's not only those announcements, we're often getting user questions. I'll make announcements. Uh, so yeah, you get a lot of information from this group.
I have a lot of new balls up in the air, and I just don't have a good grasp on them yet,
No,
so I feel
totally
like
get it.
I have, so that's why I got like, okay, I got to ask this question because I want to make sure I'm not missing. So now, okay, now I'm gonna go to the chat. Okay, and right there, so I just can click on that.
Yeah, and then there should be I think a button to request to join.
Okay, so when can I click on the button?
You can click it whenever. Yeah,
Okay, I want to make sure I did this. Okay.
I can maybe even add you now if I see it pop up.
Okay. So now I have it here and it says league management. Is that the right page?
League management. No. When you clicked on it, did it pop up a Google group?
No, it says chapter spot resources.
No.
Oh no, go down. There's another link that I just dropped. Go below that in the Zoom chat.
Group where it says group Google. Okay,
Mhm.
there we go. Okay. Okay. So
Now you really got it confused.
all right, now I'm on the group. Well, thank you so much for your patience, ladies.
Yeah.
It says now it says MyLO support. So where do I go to just
Does it not say request to join in the middle?
welcome to our peer support group for MyLO users.
Oh, do you see this same screen with
I
the
see it.
messages and everything?
Yes, that's what I
Oh, then
see.
you are a part of the group already.
Oh, good. Okay, but
If
so
if you
okay.
aren't receiving the messages, maybe just double check that the email is not going to spam. Oops, I'll drop the email in the chat so you can at least recognize usually where the messages come through.
So
So I just dropped milosupport@googlegroups.com.
take a picture of it and then so that goes in. That'll go in my email box, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So
If you need it, I could also
I'm
after
just, I'm
check
just going
your
to take a
subscription
picture.
settings.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm getting what I'm supposed to get.
And then in our case, we have like a group email, and it goes to the president and Jennifer and myself and somebody else probably. So so I actually have to go into Gmail to read all that stuff. So just to say, I don't know if you're going to use, Carla, your own individual email or if you're using a organization one or a joint one.
Yeah, I'm not
Sure.
sure.
And there's
If
to be two at signs. Because in MyLO, there's at, which is
Oh,
one.
sorry, no, it should just be one. It should just be
Okay.
one.
Okay. I thought that was a new trend. Okay. I'll check. Well, in today's world, we have to, gotta keep up the times, right? I'm going to go ahead and check it now and do a little search on that so I can at least have it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your help.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
then there's a page also, when you go in and click on MyLO, there's a page, you can connect to a page that has office hours, or you can just do a search on MyLO office hours. And there's a calendar.
Yeah, that is
I
up
don't
in the
remember that, but
description
yeah.
too.
Okay, so when I put in MyLO, when I put in that the MyLO support at googlegroup.com, I get things from Sandy, my partner here in Pennsylvania in Bucks County. I just have that. So I don't have anything else there. What would I do to change that?
Google Groups, plural.
Yes. Yep, girl, yep, yeah, I'm just double checking myself now. MyLO support at googlegroups.com. Yeah, she comes up. Sandy comes up.
The other thing too about it is that um, emails sometimes originate from the sender. So like this one here originated from me at alebron@lwvc.org. So it is a little bit difficult to try and track all of these by one single email address. Um, but if you are subscribed to the group, you should always receive them. Um, that the only thing I'm thinking is your subscription settings could be different than receiving every single email. You could be receiving a digest, an abridged version, and then no email. But it sounds like you're at least subscribed in some way.
Okay, so
Um,
what do
I
I do?
can,
Okay.
what's the beginning of your email address? You don't have to tell me
Sure.
the whole thing.
Oh, sure. It's KMD Jones.
Let's see if that,
I'm sorry, ladies, to take up your time.
I don't see that. Um, Carla, maybe we can stick around after and we
Okay.
can we can take a look at it.
Well, okay, thank you. I just want to get squared away so I'm not
Yeah,
missing anything. Appreciate it
no,
very much.
it is good to get it squared away before we leave from here, because it'll probably get forgotten a little easily.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, we'll figure out your subscription settings there. Any questions? Most of you here are probably already familiar with the membership portal buttons, but it never hurts to go over them again. This was one of the most recent questions we got, and it was about adding a join/renew button to the left sidebar where donate and vote 411 buttons are. So it sounds like she was referring to her sidebar content section. Um, so let me just show that off real quick. If you have already edited your homepage since whenever Chapter Spot went live, excuse me, that's when we brought out these membership buttons. So the join/renew button that they're referring to in this question is one of those membership buttons. But if you've already edited your homepage since then, you don't have to worry about this. Um, but just to show you where they are, I'm editing my homepage. Under Advanced Settings, I scroll down all the way until Member Portal Buttons. So if your league has not edited its homepage since Chapter Spot went live, these settings here, the member portal button settings, would all be empty. And typically, when you try and save and you leave these empty, the system will tell you error. These things are left blank. Um, so at the bare minimum, you would want to turn them all off, because then that won't make any changes to your site. It will be as it was before you saved your homepage. But to explain each one, the first one here, add membership button in sidebar. That is the one that this person would want to use. Linda here asking the question. So this membership button would create your own button to add into the sidebar, and it would use the title and the URL field. So essentially, you get to dictate what it would say and where it would go. And then the other option, the second one here, is to add a global membership button in sidebar. And when we say global, we're just referring to the LWV member portal. And that link would always read LWV member portal, and it would always lead here. And then the last one is adding a membership link onto your existing join button. And this is for purple and gold sites only, because purple and gold sites have their donate and join buttons up in the top right corner. This would essentially, um, it wouldn't change what the join button says, but it would change the destination. And so whatever you have in this URL field, if you have a purple and gold site and you've turned this on, then this URL would take over on your join button. And then you just publish and save so that you could see those changes right away. All right, let's see. Yeah, there weren't too many other questions. There was a question from Jennifer of, if you didn't want to use that built-in LWV member portal button, you can create your own. That's always the option since you have complete control over your sidebar on what you'd like to add there. I think, yeah, I'm using the default one. So the biggest difference is that the default one, you don't have control over making it open in a new tab. So that was where Jennifer's question came in. If we wanted to, use this button, but the only difference we want to make is to have it open in a new tab, we had recommended instead of using the default button that you just create your own in the sidebar. So let's just show that once more. Again, I'm going to go to advanced settings first and then to member portal buttons. For the global membership button in sidebar, I'm going to turn that off. And then before I save, I'll go ahead back to the sidebar content section, and then I can go through and add my button. I'm just going to add it down here where I have available space. Oops. LWV member portal. And then we know right now with our insert edit link tool, we have to click it twice. So I've highlighted my text. I'm going to hit insert edit tool. And we're going to minimize this for 1 second. Highlight that once more and then find it in my toolbar. There we go. And we link it to portal.lwv.org. Again, the fact that it ends with lwv.org is similar to MyLO, where we also end in lwv.org. So the MyLO system will assume that this link is internal. That's the reason why it defaults to open in the same tab. But we can force it with this target to open in a new window. And then here is where I also set the button formatting under class. And we insert. When I'm working with the sidebar, I always like to center everything, but that's totally optional. But we do have now a working button. And let's go ahead and publish and save to see that. All right, and now this time that I click it, it does open in a new tab since I created it essentially from scratch.
The other thing is, if you use the ones on the top, they also don't open in a new page. But if you
Right.
right click on them they will.
Yeah. You always can open any link in a new tab by right-clicking. But that I did put in as a request to our team. The LWB member portal button to be opening in a new tab that has been requested from our tech team.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so we've got workarounds.
Oh yes, we love a workaround. We always say that. All right, let's see if there's I don't know if we had too many other questions these 2 weeks. Yeah.
That's because everyone's dying with chapter spot.
Um, I
We
have
have
a question. I have a question for everyone. Have you noticed that since Chapter Spot open and people are joining, that nobody's like I have a donate button that goes to PayPal on our website, and nobody seems to be donating. But on the other hand, on Chapter Spot, it looks like, maybe I'm wrong, that you can only donate if you're renewing or joining.
It's only membership right now, the way it's set up. And we suggested on our website that if they wanted to donate when they renewed their membership, come back to the page and choose whether they wanted education fund or general fund.
But that's only if
On
people are going to our join page rather than going right to the portal.
Right.
Well, yeah, well, I do say that um, when rather than going to the portal, they can also go to Join Renew, and it explains everything on there. And and I also set it up so if they want to donate, to please, and I put the donate button right on there, so they can go right to donate, which would be from PayPal. But I'm still seeing, I'm not seeing donations. It's really
So
upsetting.
Tess, we had two brand new members who joined, and when they joined, they joined at the suggested amount of $75, and then they did add a donation to that.
Yeah,
And from the
that's the only place where I'm seeing donations.
oh,
I'm not seeing any donations outside of Chapter Spot, and it doesn't seem like Chapter Spot has the capability of just donating. Like it seems like
No,
you can only
it doesn't.
donate if you're renewing or joining.
Yes.
but
can
now
I
we very seldom um, we very seldom had anyone donate outside of our finance drive. I mean, we did the finance drive, that took about 4 months for everyone to kind of get their donations in. And then really the rest of the year, we would pretty much never get a
Well, maybe
donation.
we should start doing that because I was getting donations. We were getting
Oh, okay.
donations from our button, but it seems like everybody's thinking, oh, we only need to donate when we're renewing, renewing or joining because it doesn't have that capability, which is a little frustrating. So, and I'm wondering maybe people aren't donating as much because the, you know, the requested amount, not the minimum, but the requested amount
Yes.
is $75. So maybe, yeah. But the league doesn't get uh, as much. I mean, if people donate, the league gets the whole thing. So
Still has the fees. And they're probably, I think they're more than PayPal's.
what's that?
On chapter spot, when people donate to the local league, they still have to pay the fees.
No,
We
they still
we
pay.
don't see
Yeah.
that, but
Well, you
yeah.
have to pay the fees in PayPal too. So,
Well, I know,
you
but the
know.
fees are less in PayPal.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
overall, the league is
Yeah.
better if people donate through
Yeah.
PayPal.
Yeah.
So
I
I
think
brought,
maybe yeah. Go
go
ahead.
for it, Tess, go for it.
No, I'm just saying, I guess we should just probably send out a blast saying, explaining all that the donation under PayPal, the fees are less, and we get 100% of um, of their donation. So also in PayPal, you can ask them if they want to pay the fee, which
Right.
I've that up too, so that, and a lot of people, most people do pay the fee. So,
Um, I wonder if it's worth maybe trying to poke their membership support about these, these buttons or tiles, if there could be one for donate separate from the league website. That would be really nice, where then you get to decide if you want to send them to your donate page or directly to PayPal or whatever. Um, you know, if they get an
It's
influx of these support requests, maybe it becomes a thing that they add to their list.
it is on the list.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
It is on that I know. That's been,
Okay, good,
but
good, good.
it's, I mean, they set this up as a membership portal and it's a convenience if people want to donate, but it wasn't supposed to take over, but it's on the list
Okay,
because a
good.
lot of leagues are asking for it.
I would imagine that there are many leagues in that same situation as Tess, where uh members were often rolling their donation into their renewal or their joining. So
mhm,
um yeah,
yeah.
there's got to be a smoother way for the local leagues.
I mean, you got to support the local league.
Yeah.
If the local leagues go away, I mean, what's the point of having a national league, or state league? I mean, the locals, we're there for the people in our area. So,
Right.
yeah,
And
But
we're
we're
supporting them. We're supporting
that's
national.
right. That's
There you
right.
go.
But just to be clear, we are asking a national to put a button on Chapter Spot, like the profile page, whatever that's called. Yeah,
Mhm.
and that would go. The link would be directly to an individual league's join button. Is that what you're saying?
I'm assuming that they'll probably, and I'm this is just all an assumption, but I would assume that they would allow the admin to dictate where the destination of that button would
Right.
go.
Well, yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Because
That's what I
just
would think.
to be clear, so I got my membership thing today, and I was a little disappointed. It wasn't very flowery. I mean, it was pretty just right to the point. I don't know if anyone else has gotten theirs,
Mhm.
but then I know that this has been a continuing issue about being to donate to the local leagues, and I was happy to see that it was very easy to do.
Hmm.
So I was happy to see that.
To include a donation with your
Yeah,
membership
there
renewal?
was a separate thing that said donation. I don't know how it was worded, but donate to your, and then donate to your local league, and then at the end, it lists all the different charges, and so the third, and it lists, I think it was by three, and then there was like a second area, and it said donations, and it said, whatever I sent to Dearborn Heights.
Oh,
So
okay.
Hmm.
it was very clear.
That's good, at least that there is a current
Yeah, that's
process
good.
in place.
Yeah.
Nobody else has renewed?
I just got mine too.
Yeah, okay.
I will do that.
Yeah, I wanted to see how it worked, and it worked pretty easily. It just that I just thought it would be a little more personal. I don't know.
Mhm.
We'll probably get there in a while.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
probably on the
As
list.
long as it's working,
There
yeah.
you go.
Forget the flowers.
Those are on the list for later, probably.
Yeah. Well, that's why Mary Jo is in charge of communications for our league.
The other thing I think is a mistake is that like partners you don't have household memberships anymore. So a lot of times it's the one partner who, sends in the money, and the other partner's just really not that involved. I mean, now they need everybody to have their own email address. And I'm
You can,
wondering if we're losing mem memberships, we're going to eventually lose memberships because the partners aren't uh, responding to emails to
but
renew.
you can still renew someone um, and pay for them. You don't have to pay the $75 as long as you both pay the same amount. So we have a little message on MyLO saying if you want to join, if you want to sign someone else up, whatever you put for yourself is that what you're going to put for them. So if you want to do a household membership, it would be $59 or 50 whatever, $59 a piece. So if I
Okay.
was like, yeah, 50,
Is it
50, I
this?
don't know, 150,
Is it this section?
$150 divided by two, which is 75, but no, it's 114. Oh, that's what it is. It's 100,
Okay.
yeah,
105. Or no,
100,
Oh,
100.
okay.
You used to be
Okay.
105. Yeah, right. Yeah.
yeah, so it's 114 and
Yeah.
something like that.
Can you
So it's 57.
cut that and put it in your chat for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna put the link to the page so you can visit.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
$57. That's what it is. I knew it was something.
Okay. Thank you.
And if people are a little confused, so before when you had household, typically partner one would pay the full amount and then partner two would pay half the amount. So that's what
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
Jennifer
Where
showed.
the bylaws state that both of them would pay 75%, which is, 100% of one plus 50%. But it was like they would get a 25% discount.
Okay.
It's like, just shoot me now.
Well, the bottom
Okay.
line is you can pay whatever you want as long as it's at least $20 too.
Right,
So,
right, right, right. Yeah.
Which means you get a whole $3.61 or something.
I don't have much else unless you guys want to keep discussing a little further. I don't want to cut us off if we still have either questions or just comments.
well, I want to ask, and I was going to just do it individually, but
Yeah.
so one of our panelists said that they saw that Jennifer was their liaison person.
Oh,
Where is that?
Deborah,
Deborah. So did you get an email or how did you see that?
so
I have
chapter
no
No,
idea who ours is,
right.
me.
but I don't. How would I know that?
A chapter spot resource page.
Oh, okay, and it's a very yeah. So that's the other thing we got to keep remembering to check that. Okay, thank you.
I can't wait to talk to you, Deborah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You
that
might
is
get sick
nice
of you
though.
might get sick of me.
I don't think so.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
where is it? Okay,
right
list
here,
of
membership
liaisons.
support liaisons,
Oh,
list of
425. That
liaisons.
just came out. Yeah, okay, thank you. Oh, is it by district or how you? Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, by
Oh,
state.
by state, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Ah, that no wonder.
yeah,
Oh,
okay.
I got
Jennifer, you're all over the map.
Great Lakes, sorta.
Great
Well,
Lakes, yeah.
that's okay.
Ah, okay.
The first one I got had to do with Club Express, and I'm listening to this gal's explanation. I'm going, okay, I can have no idea. I
But
think
that is a good point, though. There's somewhere there it should say if you have a specific chapter, maybe. Well, I don't know. Maybe
well,
there's.
that's okay because what I did is I sent her an email, the one who's the Club Express person,
So there
sent her
is
an email and said, "Can you help me?"
one.
Yeah.
How would we? How do we know who
You
is it?
wouldn't know.
Okay, but
Yeah,
all the liaisons know.
yes.
Okay, all right.
And I think that's why you don't have any questions recently, Amaris. It's because Milo is so easy now. Carla doesn't think so, but it's like in comparison, it's great. It's like, oh, we can do anything. We can work around anything. We have confidence.
There you go. Well, at some point we will all be there with Chapter Spot. It may not feel like it right now, but we're gonna eventually get there. Crossing all
Chapter,
fingers and toes.
are you saying chapter spot?
Yes,
Portal.
the portal.
Yeah. Oh, is that that's the portal. Okay. Sorry. I was just like, I said a new word that was like, okay.
Sorry, yeah, that is the word that was kind of like the internal term when it first got started, but I think we're trying to move away from that, but I obviously am having a hard
It's
time.
because chapter spots have been sold.
Okay, yes, that's the other reason. That makes sense.
Well, it's sold.
It's being sold, so it will be technically, I guess, no longer called
Another
that.
company.
Yeah. And it makes sense for us to not use that term because our members don't recognize it as that at all. They
Yeah,
recognize it as the portal.
right. Yeah, we shouldn't use it. Yeah.
Yeah. That, okay. That now I got it. Okay. I'm not missing too much this time. Okay.
No, that's good for me to remember. Drop chapter spot and just start calling it portal. But yeah, that is very comforting to know that we have an army of liaisons here to help.
And Amaris, I wanted to tell you that I did send a note to communications asking about being able to print stuff from their pages, and how we had an issue with that on Milo and that it was taken care of by the tech team. And could they, I mean, I don't know, contact Milo or something just so we can print pages, because the extra stuff was on it.
Yeah,
I
was it
haven't, I
something
haven't,
that
I haven't heard back yet, but so that's good.
for the National League?
Yeah, yeah. And
You
they're usually
might,
really good about sending back from communication, so I don't know.
I wonder if it would make any difference. Let's see, if you print and save as PDF,
Hmm.
does it change the formatting? Ooh, yeah, it does look
Oh my.
rather funky.
Something there's
Okay.
overlays there.
It is definitely not what you'd want to print. Let me see. The other thought I had is if you save it as a web page, would there be a way to um, print it a little bit nicer after? Let's see. Do I get the option to print from here? No. Yeah, we can already see the preview. It looks real funky. Let's see,
But
share. Is that a?
Carla, we used to have that issue on Milo, and so Amaris went to her tech team, and so I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when you're on the website, you'll see on certain pages a little printer at the bottom that says print here or something like that. But that's a fairly new option.
Well, that's great.
Update, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice option for people to have. I think people often want to have a nice printout to remind them to post, to share.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't do that on national, so that's what I was asking them to talk to somebody at Milo.
Oh, well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I review websites for a living. That's what I do,
Oh,
and so
Nice.
I'm all about how websites function, and so that's why yeah, I'm taking this all in, and for example, I'll give kudos to both the league, the National League, and to Bucks County. We both have a join tab, a join button, and a donate button at the top, you know, and people don't realize that's really what you want to make sure you're reinforcing all the time because that's part of that's the bread and butter of the so yeah, I just created a document for a client that enabled that my goal was that they could print out the page in a nice way, not just print out, but the top it has the logo. It's almost like, if that makes sense, it's like pre-formatted.
Mm-hmm.
So you're almost doing advertising is what you're doing. So when you send it to your friend, you send it to whatever it may be, they don't just get like a forward, they get a nice letterhead, and then if you have any questions, call here.
Wow.
That's yeah, you want them to help you market your product.
Nice. Yeah.
Wow. I hope you're not one of those people. I know you're not that because we get these in MyLO. I don't know if anybody else is getting them. Oh, we really like your website, but you're not getting anything on Google, and would you like our help? Does anybody else get those? I don't know.
Sales pitch type
Sales
emails.
pitch.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
yeah, I think no, I just
Oh,
evaluate
I
and
know.
just
Oh, I know. I was teasing.
I,
Yes,
listen, I know what it feels like to get all those invitations. It's overwhelming, I mean, I mean, that's why it's kind of like when I said the balls are kind of juggling. I try to figure out which ones I need to have in the air, which ones I need to get rid of. Because it's hard to maintain all of that. You can't maintain everything well.
All at once. Yeah.
You just can't. It's just, yeah. So you try to do what you need, what's important. Like right now, looking at this, Dearborn, you have donate and you have join, And I would say to you also, what's nice about that is you have the larger word above the smaller word. Design wise, you want to do that. That's
oh,
very
sure.
nice. It's
Yeah.
very nice. So there you go.
Yeah, I think we're pretty cognizant of the stuff like that. Yeah.
Good. Well, good. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to see you in these sessions. Like I said, you'll probably pick up things you weren't even expecting to, the more you
Yeah,
come
like
and
like
visit.
how not to do some of your slideshows. If that second one, obviously I couldn't figure out how to do a 800 by 400, but I didn't care. It was important enough to get it on there. But the one about the May 1st thing, that very first one, it did. Oh, we got to work on that, Jennifer. It was, yeah, that was
Oh yeah.
800 by 400, so that was great.
Well, I've created from scratch wiki websites and Google websites from scratch,
Oh,
so
okay.
that I can, I know what can be done. It's not that isn't foreign to me. It's just like right in your system. How does it get done? So
Right.
I have an assignment today from Sandy, so I'm excited to get to try that out. I got instructions, so I'm very excited. So, but listen, it always looks very nice. I can tell you all work very hard. It's something that you're very proud of, and you should be.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. Spread the word.
I,
There you go.
So
I,
let me
I
know
was
what
at a,
slide you want to look at.
I'm fine. We're fine. We're having a lot of people interested in joining. I mean, I don't know if you see that where you are at all, but I don't know if you're seeing your numbers, increase
Oh,
because of,
awesome.
yeah.
I think it probably speaks to the times too right now.
Oh,
A lot of people are like, how can I act? How can I, get involved? And I think also the more action that we see at the national level in our league, the more people are taking notice and realizing, hey, the league is, a powerful group if they didn't know that already.
well, they were taking somebody to court recently. They had a
Mhm.
lawsuit against. I was like, whoa! I perked right up and I heard it was a league. I said, oh wow, look at us. So I thought that was. Can't remember what the issue was, but something recent in
It
recent
was
times.
about the Trump administration's executive order trying to have the Election Assistance Commission make some
Oh,
unconstitutional changes, I believe. It was about registration. Um, but yeah, it's always nice to see League of Women Voters versus, and then to see that big name after that. I think a lot of people were like, "Whoa!" Like the league is calling out this
Yeah,
president.
it was kind of like, wow, it was impressive. I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
well, I don't know if I'm sure it was less than a month ago, so I wouldn't have said anything. So I think it was 2 Fridays ago. If you watch PBS News on Friday night, and you've got Jonathan and uh, Brooks, they have that little tete-a-tete. So during that segment, Jonathan showed uh, a picture of well, maybe it was a lawsuit. It was something. What did he show? There was something that the league did.
Oh,
Oh darn it. Nobody else saw it.
oh.
Oh, shoot, I can't remember now. But anyway, it was just really fun. And they were saying, boy, here and even the League of Women Voters, and it's like they were really respecting us, and
Yeah, that is
really,
awesome.
really meant something.
Yeah. I'm not surprised though. I think PBS would be the type of organization to, hold
Yeah,
us in that regard. But that
yeah,
is awesome that our stuff is newsworthy. Yeah. So even more reason to, maintain a beautiful website. If more and more people are
yeah,
taking notice of our group, of our league, if they haven't before.
yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah. As always, thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Next session will be
Thank
here on the
you.
15th. Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys always for being here. Carla, if you want to stick around with me, we can look at your subscription settings in the group.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Bye,
see you
everybody.
next time.